All right, here we are. So, those of you who are still with me, I was just getting ready to demonstrate this this project I'm working on. So I have here a power source. You plug it in. That fires up the keyer here, right there, CW hotline. But there's more that goes on in there. But this, I'm just using it for the keyer. And then here are the paddles. I'm going to turn it around and see if I can reach them better. This one's kind of giving me a problem. But anyway, today's project is to get this inside of an enclosure if I can. So let me just demonstrate here. Let's see. All right, cool. So it works. So those circuits work. And let me flip it back around here. So I guess those of you who are still in the room, which is looks like two, or just one now, we are going to try to figure out which of these two works better. So I've got this one. I wonder if that one's going to work better or if this one's going to work better. I've not really used these before, these boards, so I'm not certain which of these boards is going to be the best for soldering. If I use this one, I'm going to have to get the table saw, or not the table saw, the bandsaw or something, and cut it down here because I only need about half of this. And right now it won't fit in the enclosure. So, and I'd just use like this half, like the bottom half here. And so that would fit in, I believe. And so, yeah, that has extra padding. Like, you know, it has extra connections for each one of these. It's interesting. It might be more useful than say this one here, because this one just has singles. Oh, there's a couple right in the middle. But I guess the point is that I got to have something that fits inside the enclosure here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these components out of the breadboard here. Excuse me. And these components I'm going to have to figure out how to get them, first of all, soldered. Oops, bumped it. Soldered to this, or to this, whichever one I choose. And then in addition to that, I'm going to have to figure out how to get all that into here and enclosed, and then the ends on it. And I need to also figure out how to get this piece right here. This is going to come out the back like this. I'll need to make sure I get a good strain relief on it. And then the last thing is these are going to set right on the top here. Let me just put one of these down and show you. These pressure paddles are going to sit right on the top here. Let me unplug that. With adhesive like that. And somehow they're going to have to go into the box. And so I'm going to have to figure out how to get these wires into the box. And I guess my dilemma right now is, so do I just take this board right here and just assemble everything, get everything soldered on the board and tested, and then clip the leads, you know, because this board will be on the other sides, and then, you know, clip the leads and make holes and run the pads that'll be here on the outside, you know, like that. Run them through somehow, the holes, and then resolder them. Or do I make the holes first and make all the enclosure pieces, get those all set up, and with the wires running through the holes, then do that first and then solder it on. I'm not quite sure which direction to go. Maybe those of you guys who have experience, who are watching, might have a better understanding and know how this all works. But for the most part, that's what my dilemma is. That's where I'm looking to go right now. So I think I like this one better. This one has more little connections. I don't know that I need all of them, but it feels more like a good board to use if I just cut it in half here. And so, you know, that's maybe what I'll do. I think I'm just gonna use this one. This one's nice because it's smaller, and smaller is better, I guess. But you know, I don't know that. I mean, then I have to do more soldering, I think. I really like that there's multiple. Hold that there. There's multiple. You can see that like each one of these sets of three are all connected with the copper etching. So, and then there's 2 more on that. So basically, there's 5 connections right there. And if I solder it in, then those connections will be connected, right? So there'll be a circuit. If I put in one of these tracks, if I put anything in there, they'll be connected. Well, as this one, just basically in the middle is the only place where you can see multiples, and there's really just those 2 center ones don't have multiples, and everything else is just separate. So let's go here into the shed. Now my shed is really messy. I've been waiting for the temperature to get down so I can actually clean in my shed, clean it up. Over the summer, I just kind of throw things everywhere and don't clean it very well. So it's, as you can see, it's a huge mess. But what I'm going to do, let me park this camera right here and turn it towards the drill press. Oh, I think I dropped something. That's not good. All right, there's the drill press. You'll probably see me working there on that. And let me check my last project. Do I have everything? I think I have everything. Let's see I'm going to see if you guys can see all that. Yeah, it would be a little bit better to be a little closer though, wouldn't it? Let me see if I can get you a little closer here. Where can I connect this? Maybe right here. I don't know, guys. Sorry, this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm really unprepared, but we'll get you to where you can see what's going on. It's really not that big of a deal what I'm doing. I'm just drilling a couple holes in some plastic with this, but all right, that may be a little better. Right? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's see. First thing I'm going to do, let me get some more stuff out of the way here. Got some stuff on the floor under my feet. Okay. First thing, let's do this one. This is that's the back side of the paddle. So I am going to, and again, I'm just going to eyeball it. I really don't care that much. This is just a fun little project. It doesn't need to be that precise. So let's get a board on here so that we don't drill through metal. And I'm going in like that. So let's do that. So I got to get the drill in here. I got to sneeze. Oh. Excuse me. Where is the chuck for this? There it is. All right, now I'm going to crank this up a little bit so it's closer to the drill. I have an extra one of these I ordered, so just in case I mess it up, it'll be okay. But all right, now let's just make sure that this is, it's going to be right there. Good place as any. I put a little dot in there before I turned it on, so you can go quick. Watch out for the fingers. All right, so we have a hole here. Oops, sorry. That's what the what that 3.5 millimeter jack is going to come through. I can probably put some stuff in there as well to make sure if it's like a little too big, but there's burr in there and stuff, so we'll get that. All right, now next thing is to switch out for the other drill bit. So I'll have to crank this back down. All right, put that over there. We'll put the smaller one in. Now these I don't have extra, so I hope I don't screw these up. I'm just going to put one hole that both leads are going to go through, and hope for the best. Let me see if this is straight. Yep, it is. All right. So here we have one side of the outer enclosure. I'll bring this up a little bit. So I'm just going to go right in the center as far from the end as possible and hope that's good. So it's going to be like right there, I think. right, so we got a hole like that. Now let's see if those leads go through there. And if they do, we're golden. I didn't bring out the 3.5 millimeter jack with that cord, but that's all right. Let's see. You gonna get through there or no? Uh-oh, not big enough. I'm gonna have to go back and get the a bigger bit. The next size up, it looks like. That was just big enough for just the one hole. Yep, just the one hole. Two aren't going to go. Let me just take it off camera here real quick and see if I can stuff it in there if it's really going to be that difficult. Let me stick one in there first and then see if I can get the other. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kind of do the old Jerry. I'm going to spin around the outside of it, you know, and make it just a little bigger. Maybe. Let's see. I don't know if that made enough room or not, but it seems like it's a little bigger now. Yeah, I think that's going to go through. Maybe one more turn. I can get it barely. It's just not quite there. All right, so let's do that little thing again. I hope I don't get my fingers. Oops, I keep bumping the camera. What's a guy to do? All right. Why is it still not going through? It's just not quite there. I should have just went out and got that other size bit, but I'm not wanting to do it. Haha! How about that? Check it. All right, that's going to be a tight fit, but that's what we want. We want a tight fit like that. Okay, so let's just do the same on the other enclosure, other side of the enclosure. So there's that one, and then here's this one. We'll get this one done now too. And we'll call it good. Then it's time to solder, I think. Right. Yep, that did it right there. All right, we're good. Oops. So we have that one, and we have the other hole here. So that enclosure is going to be finished, and then of course we have this one, which I am hopeful we can get that 3.5 millimeter jack cord through that that plug-in. So I'm going to grab both of my. I'm going to bring this platform down. I'm going to grab both of my drill bits now, take them back and put them where they belong. Get back to the bench and start the process of threading everything through and getting it ready for soldering. So let me grab this. Back to the back through the house we go and to the bench. All right, there we are. Okay, so this goes back in here. This one goes back in here. Now, ground. I think I need to memorize this before I test it, because these pins. So we've got, looks like 16 and 26 and ground, and it's red. Oh no, it's green, red, black. Let me write that down because I know I'll forget. My brain can't even remember the simplest things sometimes. So in order, it goes green, red, black. I just have it right over here. Green, red, black. Now I'm going to unplug it. And we will see if that hole is big enough. Well, what do you know? Check it out. Might be just a bit big, but I don't have the right one for bit to make it exact. So that's close enough. All right. So what's the consensus, guys? Are we going to thread everything through first and then solder, or are we going to solder everything from the breadboard onto here first and then cut where we need to cut and re-solder to get everything back in place? Actually, I forgot something too, guys. So put your comments there if you have an opinion. I need to take this out to the table saw or the bandsaw and get this piece cut right down the middle here. So let's go do that. Just cut right down the middle there. This piece fell off. Not the straightest jobber either, but you know what? I don't care. There we go. We just need half. And we got half. So, good enough. Some of you already have probably seen this like 3 or 4 times, but some of you may not. So, I'm just going to power up this keyer. And we're going to need to go with green, red. I'm going to put green in. So I said what? Green goes to 16. So I'm putting this breadboard back together. I had to take it out to ensure that it was right. And then in 26 we got, oops, that didn't work. Came right back out. Green. Red goes to 26. Try this one more time. There. And then black goes to ground. So that should complete the circuit, except for the part where I have to plug it in. Now, yeah. All right, so here's what we have. Here, I was telling you about the Morse code paddle. So these are going to be on the outside enclosure, adheres to the outside enclosure, and so... Okay, so I'm just going to take these components now that are on the breadboard, and we're going to solder them here, and get this into the enclosure and adhere these to the top. So let's do that now. Pull up my chair, and unplug that. Unplug that. All right, so keep that out there. So we know. I'm going to put, this will probably be the last thing I connect, maybe. Let's see, where do we start? Let's start with the DIT pressure paddle here. I'm going to take this out, and we're going to run it through the outside of this. We already had that one run through. So... avoid heating the components twice with the soldering and unsoldering. Yes, yes. Good idea. I'm going with your suggestion, Servo. I'm going to thread everything through first and do it once. going to solder everything once. The only downside is it leaves a little. You're going to get a little gap probably, or extra lead that you need to. I'm going to have a little extra wire. I can't run it real tight, but that's okay. All right, so if I run that through, so I'm gonna have to bend that down. I'm not sure if that's gonna be good enough. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Is that gonna work? There's a part of the pressure pedal that, can I get it in more? You know what I'm gonna have to do? I think I'm gonna have to get some heat shrink and shrink this, because it's gonna make contact if I go in anymore. See how it's how we've got that protection around the outside of the wires, but there at the connection, if I put that through anymore, we're gonna get a short. So I'm gonna have to pull this back out and put some heat shrink on that connection. So I'm gonna have to, spread it out here like that. And so pardon me for just a minute. Let me go behind me here and grab some heat shrink. Grab my kit of heat shrink stuff. Where is it? Here it is. It's right on hand. I love it when it's right on hand. Let me turn on my heater. Now let's get the right size. This is probably gonna be the smallest, right? Maybe. I'll cut this shorter as soon as I make sure that this is going to be the right size, if this fits over the top. It might need to be a little bigger. No, that's the right size. Okay, so let me get something to cut this with. We don't need a lot of heat shrink to go on there. Maybe just that much on either side. I think I'm gonna have to just do this, and then I gotta run. So but I'll finish this. I'll do the heat shrink, and then I'm gonna have to take off. All right, here we go. They're about the same length. Who cares? Again, we're just eyeballing it. This isn't something that's going to be sold commercially. It's just for my own use. So we'll cover that back up. The funny thing is, I had this. I bought it brand new. I'd taken one of these heat shrinks out, and then I set it right here, and I bumped it, and all of this fell on the ground. It took me probably 30 minutes to an hour to get everything back into its proper place. It was the worst, probably one of the worst things ever. All right, so get that there. Let's run this. Hopefully it still run through the that hole. I might have to drill the hole even bigger yet. You know what? I think I'm gonna go half the size just for that reason. I'm gonna cut this one more time. We don't need that much heat shrink. We're going small, just that much. All right. Right up there. Okay. Now let's do the other side. And then I'm going to get my hot air gun, and I'm going to get these shrunk, and then what's going to happen is they probably won't go through the hole all the way, so we might have to widen that hole, but that'll be for another day. So here's the gun, and let's shrink them. All right, that's pretty good protection there, I think. If we can get it through that hole, we'll be good. Like I said, we may have to go a bit bigger in the size. Let me just... Come on, focus. Focus, there we go. There we go. All right, we're calling that good, I think. Don't want to get it too hot. Okay. Now, moment of truth. We've got these protected now. Now, will they still go through that hole? Is the question. So let's grab this and run both wires through. Come on, get through there. There we go. Pull them through. Yeah, back at it. Yep. Hey there, Kyle. Yeah, we're doing the mechanical part now and trying to get this set up properly. I'm just a little short here on the top. See how it kind of just barely goes over the edge there? We don't want that. I might have to get a little bit bigger hole here because these I had to put heat shrink over the top of these, and now they're not going to go through that hole. So we're going to go bigger size. But I am going to go to a ham radio meetup at Fuddruckers, where I'm going to have me a half-pound moose burger, and so that's right now. Hi guys, catch ya.